welcome to Yin Yasa Yoga. My name is Bridget from Lucky Elephant Yoga and Wellness, and I'll be leading you through this practice today. I also have Sean here, who is going to be demonstrating today. But remember that Sean is demonstrating based on his body, just as you should listen to your body today as you're going through this practice. So make sure that you're only doing the things that feel okay for you. You're only going as deep as you can breathe into. And really make sure that you take care of you while you're taking care of this practice. So if you have a yoga mat, go ahead and lay that down if you haven't already. And if you have a couple of blocks, that's very helpful. If blocks are not at your disposal, don't worry. Grab a couple of books or maybe a couple of shower towels, like bath towels, and roll them up. And those can be helpful for this practice as well. And then also maybe a throw blanket, if you don't have a yoga blanket, or even just a pillow off of your couch, that can be nice to just sit up on. So we're gonna start, this practice is a combination of Yin Yoga and Vinyasa flow. So what that means is that we're energizing both energies in our body, the yin and the yang. We are activating into the muscular, which is our Vinyasa flow, which is our yang energy. And then we're activating into our yin, which is our cooling, grounding, calming. So we start with a yin practice and then move into a Vinyasa flow. And so we'll do about 3 or 4 yin poses and then some nice flowing to activate the muscles. All right, so always start in a nice seat. So let your palms just find your thighs, elbows weighted down. Lengthen up through the crown of your head as your seat gets heavier. So you find this alternate action up and down, right? The yin and the yang. The yin is that ground, the yang is the lift. And then your eyes can either close or just come to a soft downward gaze. And you'll notice, how do you feel? How are you feeling as you come onto your mat today? What are you bringing with you? Feelings, thoughts, experiences. We all come to our mat from different places with different stories, different routes that we've taken. But when we get to the mat, we try to find clear, open, receptive, balance. So all of the stuff that brought you to your practice today, you can acknowledge it, you can notice it, but then let it go, because now you're here. And now the focus is on this moment, this breath. So focus on that breath. And begin to deepen your inhale and your exhale in a way that evens them out. Our inhale is our yang energy, and our exhale is our yin energy. So even the breath is balancing out yin and yang. And just another couple of breaths like that. Now your eyes can slowly open, but keep us a nice attention to the inside body as well. We're going to first come into heart bench to start with our yin practice. So take your 2 blocks and place them on your mat in a T. So 1 horizontal, 1 vertical. You can start with them on their middle height, or whatever height makes the most sense for you, and then you can adjust as you go. So, Sean has 1 turned down and 1 stayed turned up. He can also alternate that and turn 1 middle and 1 high. So then turn around and face away from your blocks. And then you're gonna lie back so that the block that is behind you hits right between your shoulder blades. Go back just a little bit. And then the back of your head is on the opposite block. And then you can bring the soles of your feet together, open your knees apart, and then open your arms out. And so right now, with a lot of people being home, maybe you're working from home, maybe you're teaching your child at home, our postures tend to be this very rounded, closed off front body, right? And so then we can find back, shoulder, neck pain. And so coming into heart bench can really just allow you to open that up to counteract what has been happening while you've been at home. So now we're gonna stay in this pose for 5 minutes. And all you have to do while you're in this pose is breathe. Let the body do the work. Let the body do the releasing of muscular effort. Let the breath inform that release. Now just start to slowly bring your knees together. Roll over to your right side. And then very slowly start to press yourself up to sit. All right, so the next posture we're going to come into is just a little deeper back bend. We're going to come into Sphinx pose. So what you're going to do is just lie onto your belly. And you can use your blocks here as well. So you're going to lie onto your belly. And you're going to come up onto your forearms. And now you just want the elbows directly under the shoulders and the chest lifted, but as much softening through the shoulders as you can. Now, if this right here is not enough for you, you can slide your blocks or books or whatever you have underneath your forearms. And that'll give a little bit higher height. Remember, you're going to be here for like 5 minutes. So you don't want to go too high, but you also want to give yourself a little bit of place to let go into. So if you already start in your comfort zone, then there's nowhere really for you to go. Okay, so we want to come into a place that's just at our edge, but not past it. Okay? And your head can either just kind of stay glancing down on a diagonal. Your eyes can either stay open or closed. Remember just to keep breathing, and if you have to adjust during the pose, then don't worry. You can either adjust to come a little less, you can adjust to go a little more. Listen to your body, listen to your breath. Notice while you're here in these postures, if the mind wants to wander, wants to give you a task to think about other than this moment, just encourage the mind to stay present, stay in the practice, stay in the moment. full breaths, almost there. And then just start to slowly and carefully begin to lower onto your belly. Release your arms down by your side, turn a cheek, and take a few deep, full breaths. And just let the low back rest, let the ribs rest here. Good. So our next posture, we're going to come out of the upper back and we're going to move into the hips. So let's take a little sleeping swan today. For those that are only familiar with vinyasa, that's pigeon. So you're going to take your blanket across your mat. And then from hands and knees, start by placing your right knee, shin, and foot above that blanket so that the right knee is all the way to the outer edge of your mat. And then you extend your left leg back. We're going to spin onto the top of that left knee and the top of the left foot. You do not have to have the right shin parallel to the front of your mat. A diagonal works just perfectly. And then you can fold forward. And if you're not all the way folded to the ground, place your blocks underneath you, underneath your ribs, your chest, and your forehead, so that you can really just release down and let go. So in yin, we want as little effort as possible. So if you find yourself holding into any of these postures, then just adjust how much support you have underneath you so that there's no holding. This is another posture really great to open the hips, and the hips hold a lot of emotions in our body. They hold frustration, they hold anger, they hold resentment, right? And so if we keep the hips closed, we hold in all of those emotions, and we want to open up and let go. So take deep, full breaths in these postures. Similarly, our chest holds grief. So opening that releases grief, grief of all kinds. You know, grief of losing a loved one, or grief of losing a job, or grief of just it not being a sunny day. Anything can really be grief. So we release it, we let it out of our bodies by taking big cleansing breaths. So you can go in through the nose and you can go out through the mouth. press yourself up onto your hand. From here, your options in between sides is either just to swing your left leg around and take a moment to sit, or you can come to hands and knees, or you can even take a little downward facing dog to wag out and pedal out the hips. So take whatever transition your body desires right now, but take a moment of just pure breath between sides. All right, and now let's come to the second side. So from hands and knees, place your left knee, shin, and foot in front of the blankets. Let the right leg extend back. Make sure that that foot is not on the blanket, that everything is ahead or behind. And then the blanket is right across the pubic bone. And then make sure that you're on top of your right knee, your right shin, and your right foot so that we neutralize the hips here. And then fold forward and again set yourself up with your props underneath your chest and your head to support you so that you're not holding and using muscular effort during these poses. And of course, noticing the difference between the two sides of the body. One may be a little tighter, one may be more available. And that is completely natural and wonderful. Don't ever try to neutralize your body. Just work with what you have, because it's the natural patterning of your life that creates the two sides. So embrace it, appreciate it, and work with it. press yourself up onto your hands. And this time, make your way onto hands and knees so you can slide your props off to the side, unless you desire the blanket underneath your knees for extra cushion. And then you can keep that blanket there. And find a place where your wrists are right under your shoulders, your knees are right under your hips. And let's start with just some circles around into the wrists. So forward into the wrists, back into the knees. Good. Starting to work with a little weight bearing into the arms. Make sure that your weight stays in the knuckles of your hands and not all the way back into the heel of the hand. And then circle the opposite direction. Good, and then back to center. And now from here, inhale, arch the spine, lift your chest and your tail, find your cow back. Exhale, round, lift the belly. Inhale to arch, chest lifts, tail lifts. Exhale, round. Good, one more time like that. Inhale, arch. And exhale, round. Good, find a long spine. Crown of your head's reaching forward, those sits bones are reaching back. Start circling your right knee in the air. Just easy circles, simple. Big or small, your choice. And then circle the opposite direction. Good, let's extend the right leg back behind you into the air. But keep that front ribs wrapping towards each other, and then extend your left arm forward into the air as well. So you come into a little balance here. Now you can stay here, or moving on, we can take a big full breath in. And exhale, bring your elbow and your knee underneath you, rounding the spine. Good. Inhale, extend arm and leg. Exhale, round. Inhale, extend. And exhale, round. Good. One more time, extend the arm and leg away from each other. Place your left hand down and tuck your right toes down behind you. Spin that right heel to the left so the whole right foot comes down. Begin to roll your right shoulder back. And as the chest turns and the shoulder rolls, then the right arm starts to lift. And then you let your head turn last to maybe look up at that right hand. From here, make sure you're grounded into the knuckles of your left hand and not into the heel of that hand, and circle your right wrist. And then circle the opposite direction. Circle your right arm. The whole arm circles, big or small, your choice. And then again, the opposite direction. Good. Reach up through those right fingertips. Turn your right palm to face overhead and sweep that arm up alongside the ear. Roll your right shoulder back more. Turn your chest underneath the right arm, and maybe you glance up. Take a big full breath in. And as you exhale, just simply lower that right hand down to the mat. Spin onto the ball of your right foot. Lift your right leg into the air, and now cross it over to the left. Tuck those right toes, look over your left shoulder, and try to see your right foot. Good, deep breaths. And now place your right knee beside your left knee. Find those hands and knees once more. Good. Start circling your left knee in the air. Easy circles. And then circle the opposite direction. Good. Extend your left leg back behind you, and then reach your right arm forward into the air. Nice big full breath in. Exhale, bring your elbow and your knee underneath you. Inhale, extend arm and leg away. Exhale, round. Inhale, extend. Exhale, round. Good. One more time, extending the arm and leg away from each other. Place your right hand down and then tuck your left toes down. Spin your left heel to the right and place the whole left foot down. And then grounding into the knuckles of the right hand, start to turn your chest. And as you turn the chest, let the left arm come up. And then your head turns last. Nice. Circle your left wrist. And the opposite direction. Good. Circle your left arm. And reverse that direction. Good. Reach the left arm up. Turn your palm to face overhead and sweep that arm up and over. Good. And then try turning the chest underneath the arm and take a little deeper opening. Big full breath in. Exhale, release your left hand down and spin onto the ball of your left foot. Lift your left leg, cross it over to the right, tuck those left toes down and look over your right shoulder. Try to see your left foot this time. Go ahead and now just place your left knee beside your right and find hands and knees. Give your hips a little wag from side to side. All right, now let's come back to center, tuck your toes, and lift up and back into downward facing dog. Keep the knees soft, chest reaching towards your thighs. Breathe. Good, now let's just walk your hands all the way back to your feet. So you're gonna shift the weight all the way into those feet, knees are bent. Fold over your legs and grab opposite elbows. And then take a little sway from side to side. Nod your head yes. Shake your head no. And then just release those arms and slowly start to roll yourself up to stand. Let your head be the very last thing to come up. And then feel even taller as you lift from the very top of your head, very center of the head. Good. Inhale the arms up. Clasp your hands, flip your palms up towards the sky. Really stretch up, nice big breath. And as you exhale, tip to the right. And keep both feet grounded evenly. Maybe your head turns to look underneath that left arm. Good, come back to center and tip it over to the left. And you can look underneath the right arm this time, keeping both feet grounded. Deep, full breaths. Good, and then all the way back up. Inhale here. As you exhale, we're gonna bend the knees and we're gonna rock back and press forward with the palms. Good, inhale, come all the way up to sit. Exhale, release the hands, bring the hands to the knees and round the back. Keep the hands on the knees. Inhale, arch from here. And exhale, round. Good, let's do two more like that. Inhale. And exhale. And one more. And this time exhale, fold all the way over your bent knees and just release your head and release your hands with your knees bent, like deep bend. Yeah. Good. And from here, let's just walk the upper body over to the right. Keeping the head released. Come back to center. Walk it to the left. And then again, back to center. And now roll yourself all the way up to stand. Good. Let's step your feet as wide as your mat. Reach your arms back behind you and just clasp your hands right at your low back. Roll the shoulders back. Start to hug your elbows in towards each other. Then start to extend the elbows. Lift your chest. Big full breath in. Exhale, soften the knees, fold forward, and let the knuckles lift up any amount. Doesn't matter how high they go or they don't go. Listen to your body. Take 3 more deep breaths here. Good, and then slowly come all the way up. Let the knuckles guide you all the way up. And release the arms. We're going to keep the feet wide. And once more, sweep your arms up. Take your right hand down, tip all the way over to the right, but lean the hips toward the left. And really open up through the whole side, whole left side of the body. Good, come all the way up, nice big breath in. And then exhale, lower your left hand down, reach up and over through the right fingertips. Make sure you're activating through your fingers. Because if you just kind of release the energy from the fingers, this is something we don't really talk about a lot in yoga, a little bit, but not a lot, then you actually just stop the energy, right? But we keep reaching, we let the energy go out through the body. So make sure that all of your limbs are extended past their stopping point. Nice. Inhale all the way back up. Exhale, arms down by your side. Good. Step your feet together. Standing tall. Inhale, sweep your arms up. Exhale, open your arms, dive over your legs. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, release and fold. Inhale, sweep your arms out and up, come back to stand. And then just dive right back over those legs. Good. Inhale, lengthen the spine. And now this time, let's walk it out to plank pose. Good. Find the heels reaching back, the crown of your head reaching forward. Those front ribs wrapping towards each other for support. Balance the weight in the hands so that you're not all the way into the heels of the hands and you're supporting the wrists. Deep breaths. And now shift forward and slowly lower all the way down to your belly. Untuck your toes. And now let's lift to just a baby cobra. Inhale, lift the chest. And exhale, release it down. Good. Walk your hands back a ½ inch. Let's come into a half cobra. So the elbows are staying bent, the chest and the ribs are lifting, the belly stays down. So inhale, come up, half cobra. And exhale, release. Good. Now we walk it back so that our hands are right beside our ribs. And now pressing up to full cobra. So the chest, the ribs, the belly lift. And then exhale, release, down. Good. So let's do 3 more of these rolling back bends. Your choice. You want to stick with baby cobra? You want to stick with medium cobra? You want to stick with full cobra? Ready? So get your hands set up. And now inhale, lift it up. Exhale, lower. Try to move with the breath. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Good. One more time. Inhale it up. And exhale down. Good. Release your arms down. Turn a cheek for a moment and take a couple of deep, full breaths. find your hands underneath your shoulders again. Tuck your toes, take it up and back into downward facing dog. From here, lift your right leg into the air behind you and press back into that right foot. Keep both hips parallel, and then exhale, bring your knee towards your nose. Shift forward. Inhale, reach the leg back into the air. Exhale, bring the knee forward. Inhale, back. And then exhale, bring the knee forward and place your right foot between your hands. Good. You might have to crawl the foot to get to where it needs to go, and that's totally great. From here, spin your left heel down so the whole left foot comes to the mat. Reach your left arm forward, and we're going to reverse windmill up and over into warrior two. Good. Deep breaths. Turn both palms up. Inhale, lift your arms, lengthen your right leg. Exhale, bend your right knee, open your arms wide. Good. Inhale, lift. Exhale, open. Again, inhale, lift. And exhale, open. Nice. Keep the right knee bent. Turn the right palm up and tip up and over to the left. Peaceful warrior, really reaching through that whole right side body that you've opened up. Keep reaching out the fingertips, extend from the limbs. Good, and now just lengthen that right leg and get a little longer through the whole right side. Good, bend your right knee, come back to warrior two. And cartwheel your hands to either side of your right foot. Spin onto the ball of your left foot, and then step your left foot halfway forward. Let's find pyramid pose. So all 10 toes face forward, both feet are grounded, and if your hands are not on the ground, then take blocks underneath them. So that your shoulders aren't having to reach, and you can just release the torso over. Take some deep, full breaths. And now soften your right knee and place your left foot beside your right, folding over your legs. Inhale, sweep your arms out and up, come all the way back up to stand. And then exhale, just release those arms down by your side. Good, now inhale, bend your knees. Sweep your arms up, Utkatasana. Keeping the chest open, neck is long. Breathe. And then a nice big full breath in. Exhale, dive over your legs. Inhale, lengthen your spine. And now as you exhale, make your way to downward facing dog. However you want to get there, if you're a stepper or a hopper. Inhale, forward to plank pose. And as you exhale, shift forward, bend your elbows and lower either chaturanga or all the way to the mat. Then inhale to a back bend of your choice. Up dog, cobra, half cobra, baby cobra. And then exhale, downward facing dog. From here, lift your left leg into the air. And exhale, bring that knee forward and shift the shoulders forward. Inhale, reach the leg back. Exhale, bring the knee forward. Inhale the leg back. Exhale, bring your knee forward and place your foot between your hands. Go ahead and spin the right heel down. Reach your right arm forward and reverse windmill your arms up and open into warrior two. Good. Breathe, settle in here, but keep active. Left foot pressing forward, right foot pressing back. Flip both palms. Inhale, lengthen your left leg, lift your arms. Exhale, bend and open. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, bend. Inhale, lift. And exhale, open. Good. From here, flip your left palm, tip up and over to the right. Peaceful warrior. Good. Really opening up through the whole left side of the body. From here, begin to press into your left foot and lengthen that left leg. Tip even more to the right, even more. Really open up through the whole left side. Good, and now back to warrior two. Bend the left knee, arms extended wide. Cartwheel your hands to either side of your left foot. Spin onto the ball of your right foot. Step your left foot halfway forward. And fold over your left leg. Setting yourself up for a pyramid on this side. Blocks underneath the hands, releasing the body over your left leg. Deep inhales, full exhales. Good, and now soften your left knee. Place your right foot beside your left. Sweep your arms out and up to lift all the way up to stand. And exhale, arms down by your side. Stand tall, maybe the eyes closed for just a moment. Feeling and breathing. Good, and now inhale, sweep your arms up. Exhale, dive over your legs once more. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, back to downward facing dog. And now you have the option to take one more vinyasa flow for the class today, or just stay in down dog and breathe. Whatever works best for you. Good, and then we're gonna meet back up in downward facing dog. Lower your knees, spreading those knees nice and wide. Keep your big toes together. Shift your hips back to your heels and take a child's pose. And now from here, walk your upper body over to the right. And let's press into your left hand, shift your hips to the left. Take some deep breaths into that left side. And then come back to center, walk it over to the left. Pressing into the right hand, shift into your right hip, breathing into your whole right side. And then again, back to center. Good. Roll yourself up to sit, swing your legs around. Good. You can sit up on the edge of a blanket or a pillow, so your sits bones are right on that edge. You can get a little extra tilt of the pelvis. Soles of your feet together, knees wide. Take your hands on tops of your knees. And let's just take some circles around with those in those hips. Good. Circling the torso. And then circle the opposite direction. Good, and then sitting tall, big full breath in. Exhale, fold forward over your legs. You can walk the hands forward and just take some deep, full breaths. Head released, shoulders released, elbows released. Good, and then just slowly roll yourself back up to sit. Bring your knees together and very slowly lower onto your back. Nice and easy. Good, make sure not to have anything underneath you like a blanket or anything. We want to just be laying flat on the back, but bend your knees and place your feet down on the mat. Arms down beside you, and as you inhale, press into your hips, press into your feet, lift your hips up off of the mat. And as you exhale, release and lower down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Good, let's add some arms into this. So inhale, lift your hips, float your arms overhead. Exhale, release, lower down. 3 more. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. And one more time, lifting up. And this time, let's see if we can hold the lift of the hips. Release your arms down by your side. Try sweeping the arms underneath you, and maybe you clasp your hands and then walk those shoulder blades closer together. Press more into the upper arms, get a little deeper back bend here. Good, both feet are staying rooted down. 2 more breaths. And then release your hands and slowly lower the hips. Awesome. Step your feet as wide as your mat and open your arms out to the sides. And now tip both knees over to the left, keeping the feet wide. So we're worrying a little bit more about the hips here than we are about the spine, but you can turn your head to the right. And if you want to take it one more step here, if it feels okay on your hips, that left ankle can cross on top of the right thigh, not the knee, but the thigh. So if you feel any discomfort in your knee, pull back, don't do it, uncross. Good, and then uncross that ankle. Good, bring the knees back to center, your head back to center, and then tip your knees to the right. Good, and your head can turn to the left this time. Good, and if it feels all right on that left knee, the right ankle can cross over the left thigh. But again, any discomfort at all, don't do it. Good, and then again, back to center. Now walk your feet closer together and tip both knees to the left once more. And this time, the knees are together, the feet are together as much as possible. Your head can turn to the right. And we're just trying to keep both shoulders down here. So the knees can go as high as makes sense for your body. back to center once more. And tip your knees to the right, head to the left this time, both shoulders grounding. And then finally bringing knees back to center. Prepare yourself for Shavasana. So if you have extra support around you, I just don't recommend you lie on your couch or your bed for Shavasana, because that's not Shavasana, that's a nap. So laying flat onto whatever surface you're laying on, arms down. If you have clothing or support that you want around you, finding time and finding a way to really let your mind, your body, and your breath be. So that it's not about falling asleep or tuning out, but it's about tuning in. So as you find Shavasana today, let it be about physical rest, physical comfort, but with the intention of the body soaking in the effects of the physical practice. The breath traveling deeper into the body because the body is let go. The mind able to focus on the task of breathing. Teaching the mind to release the chatter. And just finding moments of peace. True connected peace. into your breath. Wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes, and awaken the physical body. And then just begin to bend your knees and carefully roll to your right side. Take a moment on that side just to find a few deep, easy breaths, transitioning back into your day. Now press into your left hand and begin to roll yourself up to sit. Let your head be the last thing that comes up. Again, with ease as we transition even further, and this time back to vertical. The eyes can stay closed or find a soft downward gaze. And bring your palms together in front of your heart. Bow your head towards your hands. And gratitude for this practice, for the balance of energies within our bodies, within our lives, keeping us steady, keeping us moving on the path forward. And this practice that allows us to connect back to that balance. And bowing into gratitude for one another along this journey. Namaste.